President Joe Biden is celebrating the release of 5 Americans from Iran. The White House says that he spoke with their families today in an emotional call, while at the same time, the president is warning U.S. citizens not to travel to Iran. He said the 5 prisoners endured years of agony, uncertainty, and suffering. White House correspondent Owen Jensen reports. Owen?
Tracy, President Joe Biden also said in his statement that 5 Americans will soon be reunited with their loved ones, and he thanked other governments for helping make the deal happen. Now, he did not mention the fierce criticism of the swap that also gives Iran access to nearly $6 billion, and which critics contend will make America and the Middle East less safe.
5 prisoners sought by the U.S. in a swap with Iran are freed and arrived today in Qatar. President Joe Biden writing in a statement, "As we celebrate the return of these Americans, we also remember those who did not return. I call on the Iranian regime to give a full account of what happened to Bob Levinson. The Levinson family deserves answers." The freed Americans, 3 of the 5 pictured here in these family photos, traveling back to the U.S. today. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in New York said he had the great pleasure of speaking to them today, calling it an emotional conversation, adding their freedom means
husbands and wives, fathers and children, grandparents can hug each other again, can see each other again, can be with each other again.
Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump also making headlines for his comments about abortion. He criticized Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for signing a 6-week ban. Trump called it a terrible thing and a terrible mistake. I asked Students for Life for their response.
We're asking today in a letter that we're sending to President Trump to clarify that. We know that interviews sometimes can roll where you don't want intend to go, and so, but those are unfortunate remarks. Normally, when we see somebody with a heartbeat in an emergency room or wounded on a battlefield, we rush to save their life. We need to have that same kind of commitment to preborn children.
Former President Trump also said Democrats are the radicals who want to rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month.
Now back to President Biden. Right now he's in New York, where tomorrow he'll be delivering remarks at the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The leaders of the rest of the permanent UN Security Council members, France, the UK, Russia, and China, will not be making that trip. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.